The silence after rejection can be a powerful weapon, a phrase that resonates painfully after the injustice of rejection. That feeling of vulnerability, like a cold blade, cuts sharply through your confidence, shattering your efforts and leaving an oppressive void. How many times have you reached out hoping for recognition or a simple sign, only to receive indifference or disdain? I know this pain. It torments the mind, fuels unanswered questions, and invades the soul. But what if, at the very heart of this pain, there was an unexpected strength ready to be unleashed and transform this suffering into power? That's what we're going to explore together. The silence I'm speaking of here is not one of resignation. No, it's a chosen silence, filled with dignity, self-control, and deep resilience. The Stoic sages, such as Marcus Aurelius, teach us that at certain moments where words fail, silence can become a formidable tool. It is not an emptiness, but a sacred space, filled with meaning and self-mastery. Imagine for a moment, silence becomes more than just an absence of words. It becomes a response, a demonstration of your inner strength. It's not an escape, but a conscious act that exposes the weakness of those who have rejected you. This silence is your light, brighter than ever, shining on and revealing their flaws while affirming your power. But let's face it, embracing this silence is hard, especially after rejection. It requires discipline, constant inner work to resist the temptation to react impulsively. You will want to scream, beg, seek recognition at all costs. Yet by choosing to remain silent, you exhibit a rare ability, self-control. You assert your inner peace. You turn chaos upside down, and you transform the pain into unstoppable force. In this video, we'll discover together how silence can become a transformative response. This path towards serenity and resilience is not improvised. But trust me, the last revelation I'll share with you will change your perspective and offer you a secret key to tame rejection, transform it into power, and ultimately reverse the course of things. Chapter 1. Accepting rejection as a personal lesson. Rejection, that word that strikes like a bell of pain, often leaves us feeling vulnerable. And yet, Epictetus, that great Stoic sage, tells us, it is not what happens that disturbs you, but how you interpret it. These words are more than just a reflection. They invite us to reconsider each rejection, not as a failure, but as an opportunity for personal growth. Imagine a beginner writer whose manuscript is rejected over and over. With each refusal, instead of being discouraged, he chooses to revise his work, perfect it. Each rejection becomes a chance to improve, to get closer to the truest version of his art. In the end, this rejection, far from being an end, becomes the key to his success, enabling him to create a stronger piece. Rejection is not a condemnation. It is a call to action, an invitation to strengthen yourself, to discover untapped resources within. By accepting this Stoic principle, you choose not to be a victim. You become a student, a learner, capable of turning each rejection into a springboard toward a stronger version of yourself. Chapter 2. Silence as inner strength. Silence is often perceived as an absence, a void, but the one who masters their silence masters their mind. It is not a withdrawal, it is a powerful assertion of self. After an intense argument with a loved one, I learned how much this silence, far from meaning submission, is an act of power. By remaining silent and listening attentively, I was able to calm the situation, find an exit, and prevent the agitation from taking over. In professional life, in heated discussions, the one who chooses silence is not the one who loses, but the one who takes control. Silence imposes respect, becoming a calm and serene power in the face of turmoil. Silence, according to Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, is often more powerful than words. In a world where everything moves at lightning speed, choosing silence is a courageous act. It's a moment of reflection, a precious time to center ourselves and act with full awareness. Silence allows us to sort through things, to speak only when our words can truly make an impact. It is a form of resistance, a shield that protects us from unnecessary agitation. Chapter 3. Redefining your value independent of others. How do you measure your value? The answer to this question might change your life. Too often we seek our value in the eyes of others, in their approval. But as Seneca wisely said, the opinion of others does not belong to you, but what you make of it belongs to you. Until recently, I thought my value depended on others' appreciation. Each compliment was a victory, each critique a failure. But one day, after a deep disappointment, I decided to change this perspective. I realized that my value did not depend on external judgments, but on my ability to stay true to myself. An artist does not create to be admired, but to express his authenticity. He knows that his value does not lie in recognition, but in the integrity with which he pursues his craft. Take back control of your self-esteem. Stop seeking validation elsewhere and begin evaluating yourself by your own standards. By redefining your value in this way, you will discover an incredible freedom. You will no longer be at the mercy of others' opinions. You will respect yourself, and that will allow you to create authentic relationships, deeper and more sincere. Chapter 4. Silence as a tool for personal transformation. Silence, far from being an absence, is a form of power. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the best response to insults is silence. In a world where everyone seeks to make their voice heard, the one who chooses silence becomes the one who holds the key. Choosing silence is choosing not to react impulsively, but to observe, step back, and act with discernment. Let's take the example of a professional conflict. A colleague criticizes you unfairly. Rather than reacting in anger, choose to remain silent. This is not submission, it's strength. This silence becomes a form of resistance in the face of agitation and a way to regain clarity in the chaos. Chapter 5. Finding refuge in silence. Amid loss of control. In times when everything seems to slip out of control, silence becomes a refuge. It doesn't make the problems disappear, but it offers you the necessary space to approach them with serenity. It allows you to stay calm even when the storm rages around you. Imagine a family dispute where emotions are running high. By choosing to remain silent, you avoid escalating the situation. Silence acts as a switch. It interrupts the conflict's escalation and paves the way for a more peaceful resolution. In this video, you have discovered that silence, far from being a weakness, is a strength. A formidable weapon to navigate the challenges of life. By cultivating silence, you uncover a hidden power, a source of resilience that allows you to remain in control of yourself, no matter the external storms. Remember, silence doesn't mean abandonment. It is the affirmation of your inner strength, a thoughtful and determined response to rejection and difficulties. By mastering this silence, you don't become less, but much more. You become unshakable. If this video resonated with you, don't hesitate to like, subscribe for more wisdom, and share your thoughts in the comments. Together, let's redefine rejection, pain, and resilience.